The Colorado Avalanche season picks back up in Utah, and they get a nice 4-2 victory without Nathan MacKinnon. But let's talk about that in a new episode of Locked On Avalanche coming at you.
You're Locked On Avalanche, your daily podcast on the Colorado Avalanche. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Locked On Avalanche, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chris Micieli. Joining me as always, Mr. Zach Pearson. Thank you for tuning in, making this your first listen of the day, and for making the Locked On Podcast Network the number one sports podcast network in the country. Always appreciated. So the Avs, back in action, and the whole rust thing, didn't really see it in this one, Zach. I thought this was a nice game, a good game on both sides. Avs take a lead. Utah kind of climbs back in it. Avs don't let them get any closer and extend the lead again. In the end, it's a 4-2 win for Colorado. And like you said, without Nathan MacKinnon, we'll get to that in a little bit. But so without him, guys need to step up, right? It's when you're losing a guy like that. Okay, who steps up? And I thought it was just business as usual for Colorado. So some guys that had the break probably used it to their advantage, rest up a little bit. The guys that came back from the Olympics, seems like they picked up where they left off, and everything's you got Avalanche hockey again. So thoughts on this game? Give me your overall thoughts.
Okay, so first, if there was one guy that very clearly benefited from this break and was also extremely excited to get back on the ice, it was Parker Kelly. Second, as soon as that goal was overturned, the Brock Nelson goaltender interference off the Brent Burns shot, my immediate thought is Avalanche hockey's back because our goal just got overturned. I mean, that was the instant thought. And
what's that, the 47th goal, 48th goal overturned this year? Like, it seems like it anyway. Good Lord.
Does. It's crazy how many goals keep getting overturned. And I think Landeskog has no less than half of those. So,
pretty much, yeah. Landeskog's in the 30s, I think.
But no, I do pretty much mostly agree. This was just business as usual outside of, like I said, I think like a Parker Kelly just clearly using the break to go into super mode because he looked awesome, and they played really well. The game was pretty fast. Couple of spots where I think it wasn't crazy physical, especially at first. Mm-hmm. There were not a ton of hits. It started to ramp up a bit as the game went on.
A little bit,
but it wasn't absurd. Things got a little bit gummed up in them, at times, but overall, I think the Avs were able to just sort of move around and keep control. It was great.
Everything was in the second period in terms of goals anyway. All of your goals came in the second period. That was a wild second period. And you wondered, when you saw that, okay, what's the third period could be maybe crazier. First period, I thought it was fine. I didn't, like I said, I didn't see any of that, rust from either team. I thought either team both teams looked pretty good in the first, and then kind of the dam broke open for both teams. And then in third kind of closed up again, and you didn't get any more goals, but there was opportunities on both sides, especially on Utah side in the third period, which makes sense because you're the team that's down. So, but that second period was crazy. And you do get the goal for the Avs in the first, but like you said, it is overturned. And I don't disagree with that overturn.
I was going to ask, it's razor thin. I think if that one was called still a good goal, I could easily sit here and argue, well, his glove comes out of the crease maybe enough that it doesn't. But honestly, the fact that it's waved off, it's in the crease enough. That's razor thin kind of margin. Good camera angle. That camera angle caught it really well. So
I mean, I don't think they called it off immediately. It was they called it a good goal, and I think it's one of those things where it's how the puck, there has to be daylight. It has to completely cross the goal. I think it's the same for the glove. The little tip of the glove, or maybe a third of the glove was over the blue paint. I don't think that's
But
enough.
he's still
I think it really needs to be.
Yeah.
He's in
And
there.
the other thing I noticed on that one too is you can clearly see the puck coming at Vejmelka when his glove gets moved.
Yeah.
Like the fact that the puck's on the way, and so that one made sense.
Right.
Would have liked to have seen the goal, especially since Brent Burns had such a good game too.
Great game.
Yeah.
Great game from Brent Burns.
So I would have loved to have seen him get that goal, but
yeah.
And then
that one. Okay. All right. You don't get it. And then in the second, things starts with, in terms of the goals, with just an absolute beauty from Parker Kelly, just slicing and dicing through this Utah defense, looking like Nathan MacKinnon, who was not on the ice today.
Yeah.
Beautiful goal. Like when you put the highlight reels together at the end of the year of all the goals and stuff like that, and all the
that's going to be on there.
100% that's going to be on there. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know you had that in you, Parker Kelly, but he continues to have a career year, and that just continues to build on it. What a move from him. What a move.
Just ridiculous, right? I mean, it was through two guys, but there's 4 Mammoth players essentially surrounding him like a 4-corner square, like cube box that he's in.
Yeah.
And he keeps control, gets the puck back to his own stick, and then what a shot to put that one home.
Beautiful.
I am sad because according to NHL.com right now, they took Wedgewood's point away and gave it to Josh Manson. Because Wedgewood had an assist on that. And right now it's
I'm watching it now. You got Burns. Where's Manson come into play? Because they gave one to Manson. I'm watching the goal visualizer here. I don't see Manson touch it at all. So he's behind the net.
I don't know.
That's
so
tough.
There must just be something that I can't see on the visualizer.
Maybe there's just a little bit of the touch of a puck.
Like his stick caught it.
I guess.
But
it's just nice to see goalie get on the.
I know. I was so excited for Wedgewood. So a little sad that went away. But then Parker Kelly again forcing the turnover and then getting that over to Malinsky. Like, just the guy was out of his mind tonight. He played.
He had a moment in the second period where he was like, "All right, I'll play the role. Who do I have to play the role of MacKinnon? Okay, I'll do that." And that, the second goal of the period, this one's from Olofsson. Puck's kind of just like laying on the blue line. He goes and collects it, kicks it back to Malinsky, who has a nice pass to Olofsson, who kicks it to himself, by the way, because the pass kind of handcuffed Olofsson a little bit. So he had to kick it with a stick. It was just a bang, kick it with his skate. So skate to stick, and then he roofs it. So all around, and that happened just a few minutes after the Parker Kelly goal, if I'm not mistaken. So the Parker Kelly goal happened, about 6 minutes after it.
6 minutes, yeah.
So Parker Kelly was living his best life in that second period.
Yeah,
man, and involved in those first 2 goals to really give the Avs the lead that they, of course, would never relinquish. But he was on fire. He was on fire in that second period. Loved seeing that.
Yeah, I was super thrilled watching that. And then you see Guenther get the power play goal.
Guenther.
Yeah. Okay. You see him get the power play goal, and you feel kind of like, okay, I didn't feel like the momentum shifted really to Utah, but you weren't really wanting them to be back within 1. And then Gabe Landeskog. So Martin Nečas gets the puck, gets the second assist, but Gabe Landeskog with the nifty little spin move along the boards there, and then just an excellent pass right over to Brock Nelson, who I don't know if you know this, he won a gold medal. They only mentioned it about 45 times right after that goal. Deservedly so. But no, so he gets his 30th of the season, though. I mean, this is career topping season for Brock Nelson. Like, even if he didn't have a gold medal, you're doing all of this, and then you get the gold medal on top of it. It's good stuff for him.
He's having a moment too, obviously. And that play in particular, it's just like situational awareness from Gabe Landeskog. Because if you go watch that play, where Brock Nelson is when this play starts, he's up against the boards. He's like right by the benches.
Yeah.
And so he kind of passes it down to Gabe, and Gabe's got a guy on him. So, but he knows exactly, like he knows Nelson's going towards the net, and it's not a blind pass to Nelson, but he, like, where Nelson goes to start this period to where he finishes, like right in, not directly in front of the net, but in between the dots. Yeah. And for Gabe to know that is just, those are two guys basically like reading in each other's minds.
Yep.
So, so it was just a pretty play all around. Great shot from Nelson. So yeah, he can. And then he had that nice play. I was so hoping he scored on that one where I can't remember who it was on Utah, just went for a pass, and Nelson just stepped right in front and intercepted it. And he had a breakaway, but the puck kind of rolled on him, which seemed to be doing that a lot on players during this game. Puck seemed to be rolling on when players had the pucks on their sticks, seemed to be rolling off for whatever reason. But that would have been a beautiful play if he could have finished that goal, but wasn't meant to be. Yeah. Overall, though, let's see. Here's some other things that I got. Yeah. Oh, well, let's get our break in here, and we come back.
Perfect. I know where you're going.
We have a power play goal, so let's get our first break in. We'll talk about that, and then of course, Nathan MacKinnon didn't play, but it wasn't a problem. So let's get a break in. A lot more to get with this one. Let's hear from FanDuel. If you ever wanted to experience the NBA Finals live and in person, FanDuel is giving you the chance to turn that dream into a reality with their NBA sweepstakes. And here's how it works. Use your profit boost on any NBA future, and you'll automatically be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for two. That's right. You get flight, tickets, the whole experience. So if you're already looking at the board and thinking about which team can make a deep run, this is the perfect time to lock that in. Visit FanDuel.com and get started. Use your profit boost on an NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, you can also get a free month of our Everydayer Club. So if you've been on the fence, should I join, should I not join, get a free month and see what it's all about. And you get some exclusive content that Zach and I put up throughout the week. You get access to the Discord channel, which has just been such a joy interacting with the people over on the Discord channel. You get access to the subtext crew as well, and ad-free versions of the podcast. So yeah, you get a free month at checkout. You just type in the promo code DEADLINE, and boom, free month is yours. So join the Everydayer Club. It's lockedonpodcast.com/everydayer or lockedonavalanche.supercast.com to go sign up for that today. That free month is only available for a few weeks. So if you're thinking about jumping on it, do that today. All right. Yeah, you get kudos to my Twilight Zone co-host here for what did you say, sir? The first power play that they got, they would score on it.
Sure did. Called it over the Olympics. Said it was going to happen.
Did. And they did. And it was a rip from Martin Nečas.
God, what a shot.
Just what a shot. Yeah. Those to me, like I've said this before, like that is like that's a hockey equivalent of like a slam dunk. It's just got to feel just so good. Just right. You hit that puck like perfectly. It's just goalie has like no shot on those ones. It's got to feel so good. So
just extremely satisfying. Really should have been two. I completely stand by the fact that if Val Nichushkin's stick does not snap in half, we have two power plays today. But I'll take the one on the first power play because Nečas deserved that. He did kind of the same thing that he did for his power play goal in the Olympics, and he's in that same spot over on the left side. The goalie's right, yeah. And just like you said, absolute howitzer.
Yeah.
And
so they're 1 for 3 on the power play. That's 33.3%. I will take that. One of those power plays was shortened a little bit. That's when Utah had the power play, and then Lehkonen got tripped on a really nice play by him. I say nice play, just a hard-working play for him to try to get a puck cleared, and he gets tripped. So, you even that out. So it's really like 2.5, 2.75 power plays. But hey, I thought it looked better.
Yeah, okay. I thought it looked really good. I liked Kale shooting on it instead of holding it for so long. And at first, when I saw the Val, I thought he was going for just like a soft pass, and that's all that was. Then once you see that his stick broke and he dropped it, I was like, oh, actually, that makes me feel better, sort of.
That it didn't, yeah, like, I get it.
He went for what I want him to go for, but then it didn't work, so I feel better, but only kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think that the power play just overall looked good. And what's crazy is Nečas scores in MacKinnon's spot. So, like you said, no MacKinnon, no
problem. The game had a different look without Nathan MacKinnon.
It did.
It just does. And it's not to say that clear. Look what the Avs did. They had a nice, compact 4-2 game. They got shots on net like just fine. It wasn't like they were completely lost without Nathan MacKinnon, but the team just looks different without him, right?
It does.
And a guy that I was really hoping would just go off in this game was Cale Makar, and he played a fine game.
He did all right.
What did he have? Let me see what he had for just the one assist. One assist, -1, normal, 22-40 of ice time, 2 shots, 2 blocks, whatever. I was really hoping he could have like this 4-point game, whatever, like two goals, 2 assists, 2 goals, 3 assists. Just have this game, because there's so much talk about Cale Makar and his numbers with Nathan MacKinnon on the ice and without Nathan MacKinnon on the ice. And they are what they are. And I don't think anybody should apologize for that. Yeah, I think, when anybody plays with Nathan MacKinnon, your numbers are going to look really good. It's not taken away from Cale Makar at all. It's just, is he capable of doing that stuff without Nathan MacKinnon? Sure. But you don't get, like, MacKinnon rarely misses games. Yeah. So you don't get a lot of these games where you're going to play without him, and then you can kind of have that moment, like a Parker Kelly moment. But I was hoping that Cale Makar could have just one of those games that we for a day could just be like, see, Cale Makar is just fine without Nathan MacKinnon out on the ice. And he is. Yeah. He is. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I just wanted that game where he just went off and just owned everything. And he just had a, regular Cale Makar game, which was a fine game.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see, but I don't know. Like, I'm kind of glad that it wasn't Cale Makar that gets to be the focus of it. I'm actually really excited that it gets to be Parker Kelly.
I mean, it's a nice story. I get it. Well, not even a story, a moment. It's a nice moment for him.
Nice moment, yeah.
It is.
But I see what you mean. I totally see what you mean, because you do want to be like, okay, you're down a superstar and your other superstar kind of, and so before the Mikko Rantanen trade, there was or right after the Mikko Rantanen trade, rather, was, well, is he a MacKinnon merchant or is he an elite player? And it is kind of nice to be able to see your elite players play elite when the best,
your other elite,
the best player in the world is,
right.
So
is what it is. I don't think. I mean, we'll have to see. We don't have to wait very long, because the Avs obviously are playing a back-to-back. If MacKinnon is going to play in that, I think he will.
So I don't know if you heard. I had to listen to the radio to begin the game. So like the first 75 seconds a game for me were radio. But before puck drop, Connor McGahey always talks to Bednar. Bednar said, with the intensity that Nathan MacKinnon plays with and played with through that entire tournament, and how much that meant to him and everything that he poured into it, plus then on top of that, you have travel from Italy all the way back to Colorado through whatever routes he took.
Right.
then to ask him to travel to Utah, then to ask him to travel back, and he's dealing with a small something.
I think that's what it
He's
is.
like,
I
all
think
of those things onto. I think the small something is like he poured everything he had into that tournament,
right.
and maybe one extra day of relaxing is good for him.
Not the worst thing.
Yeah,
Because I think that's what put it over the edge for him, because apparently Brock Nelson, Cale Makar, and Devon Taves are not dealing with something.
Yeah.
And if they were, they'd probably stay back too. But and you heard that at the end of the gold medal game, that something maybe with his leg or something like that. But
yeah, and I mean there could be something else to it, but I really do think it's something that just an extra day of chilling back in Denver and not having to go to Utah, not having to worry about it, and the Avs still winning the game is going to help. And again, I really wonder if he didn't just, for that last game, empty the tank. And sometimes you just need a little bit more to recover from something like that. So,
he did.
I expect him back against the Wild. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't happen. I might be wrong, but I don't see any reason.
I'm kind of with you on that. So we'll see how that goes. Two other guys that I want to mention, and that's obviously the newest member of the Avs, with Brett Kulak. No points on the board, a +1, played 19 minutes. And like I said in yesterday's episode about the trade, and the one thing that I heard about him, which holds true, is like what you see is what you get. It's pretty much what you got with Brett Kulak. Like he's almost like unnoticeable out there. He just goes out, does his job for a shift.
Possible. Yeah.
Right. Oh no, that wasn't like a knock on him. It was like a positive.
Yeah.
He just goes out there, does it's almost like a more under the radar Devon Taves.
Yeah.
He's just right place, right time, can get the puck out of the zone, plays on a penalty kill, and he just does all this stuff, and you just don't even notice him. Played almost 20 minutes, and you're like, how many shifts was he out there for? Well, he was out there for 23 shifts, and you're like, what?
Jeez.
When? So I think he's gonna fit in nicely. So, and maybe this was just like his first game with the team, so he's making sure he's right place, right time, to not do anything that upset his brand new teammates or anything like that. But I think that's what you're gonna get in Brett Kulak. Just plays a solid defensive game.
I do. I tried to watch for him, but it was kind of easy to miss him through everybody else doing things. But again, I completely agree. That's not a knock. I think that's exactly what you want from a third pairing defenseman, is a guy who you're not, because there's plenty of times where we've had defensive guys make some boneheaded mistakes, and there wasn't any of that. So be interested to see some more games. Let him get fully acclimated and see how it goes. For a guy who met like half of his team today, he definitely fit in pretty well. So excited to see more of that.
Agreed. And then obviously goalie Scott Wedgewood. He's the one that gets the start for the first game back and gives up 2 goals. On Dylan Gunther goals, who that dude can score. He knows how to score. So he's got a wicked release. But thought he stood tall in good moments and moments when he needed to. So I think just another solid game from Scott Wedgewood.
They broke down the second Gunther goal on the altitude broadcast, and it was, he faked out Scott Wedgewood is kind of what Lyles was thinking. Lyles is thinking it's more of a shot pass instead of just a shot. And Wedgewood kind of starts to play that, but then all of a sudden it's like the puck's in the back of the net before you even realize that he's taking the shot.
Right.
And so I agree. Sneaky good shot. I think Wedge played excellent. I thought he was positionally great. Covered up a lot of rebounds. He did everything that you'd want him to do. So
no complaints.
Yep.
No complaints. So all right. We are gonna get our last break in here. Let's see. I don't think there's anything else with the game that I wanted to bring up. So what we're gonna do is get a break in. I didn't even ask you if you picked a sound check. Do you
I
have a
did.
sound check? Okay, good.
did.
So what we're gonna get a break in. We're gonna do the sound check right after the break. We typically do it at the very end of the episode, but I wanted to give some time to Jim Gordon, who passed away on Monday. Actually, they didn't announce it until today or Wednesday. But so there was some thoughts I wanted to put out about him. So we'll get a break in, do our sound check. I have some subtext crew, and then we'll talk about Jim Boomer Gordon after this. All right, we got Indeed, workplace chaos, deadline stacking up, inbox overflowing, and the one position you have to fill is still sitting open. When the pressure's on and you need the right hire, this is a job for sponsored jobs. Indeed, sponsored jobs help you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for, skills, experience, location, so you're not just hoping the right candidate stumbles across your post. So spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results. And when you need the right person to cut through the chaos, this is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. And listeners of Locked On Avalanche will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this very podcast. Once again, Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. If you need to hire, this is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. Go check out Indeed today. All right, let's get some subtext thoughts in here first, and then we'll get to our sound check. We got Michael said, rusty at times, but great to see all the boys back minus MacKinnon. Things should start flowing again. Sound check for Michael is Travis Tritt. It's a great day to be alive.
All right.
Solid. I mean, I know who Travis Tritt is. I am not a country fan,
not
just an imagination, but I will just based on the song title.
Yeah,
sure. Why not? I'll accept Travis Tritt.
I like it.
But the rusty at times thing, like I said earlier, I was just fine with it. Didn't really think there was too much rust. Surprised.
Yeah, I thought they did well.
Yeah. Let's see. Katie says their sound check is Reunited by Peaches and Herb. I don't know. That sounds like another country artist to me, but I have no idea. I don't know.
I'm not familiar with that one at all.
We got to check that one out. Glad to have our boys back together. They will be at the game tomorrow night.
Nice.
And she says, "Look for me. I'll be the one in the MacKinnon jersey." Okay.
Excellent.
The sole MacKinnon
easy
jersey.
To spot. Yep. Exactly. None of those there.
Katie, that's awesome. Adam says, great way to get things started after the break. A little sloppy at times, and we'll want to limit how many penalties we're taking. I'll grant you that for sure, but I have to be happy with the performance. Helps when you score a power play goal too. Yep. Shout out to Parker Kelly for that insane goal to get things started. Let's see. Not the Judge Napolitano. That game was not full of the normal frustrations of playing the Coyotes. Still not on the Coyotes. Nelson looked good on the top line. Must be feeling the boost of the gold medal. Kulak looked fine with his minutes, pretty even across the D. I'm dying to see the top power play unit without Nate. 0 faked one-timers and 2 drop passes all night. Small sample size, but 33%. Not bad.
That's what we said.
Don't disagree with that. Where did he? There was something that he said that with Nelson being on the top line. Yeah. So your top line was Nelson, Landeskog, and Martin Nečas. And I thought they looked good. Looked good. I thought it took Nečas a little bit because he wants to go. And, Landeskog and Nelson, maybe not so much. So I kind of felt like Nečas kind of like needed to settle in and kind of just gel with them a little bit. And I thought he did. Got the goal and then another assist. So I thought that line looked pretty good. And then the other line, the Victor Olofsson, Parker Kelly, Ross Colton line, I mean, obviously we talked about with Parker Kelly, you had Olofsson get a goal, so that line gets 2 goals, and Colton had some opportunities. Scary moment for him too, where he got hit right at the blue line. 2 guys just didn't see each other.
Had to just knock the wind out of him.
I think so.
Because that grip in the chest and then able to get back up. I haven't had the wind knocked out of me, thankfully, in a long time, but it sucks. So, and I got to imagine when you get hit that hard and then you go down to the ice, anytime it happened to me was on grass. So, that's at least better.
Yeah. So glad that he's okay, obviously. Madam Battleaxe, so happy we came out swinging, ready to skate. Couldn't be prouder of Wedgie. Keep it up. I'm just going to read this the way that she put it out here. I'm so happy Sexy Rossi is okay. I was worried. She's got a thing for Ross Colton. If you couldn't tell, she got a thing for Ross Colton.
I had a feeling. I will say, too, he got robbed on that one shot that he had from basically right above the playoff dots, but kind of dead center. And I don't think Familka had any clue that was going directly into his glove.
Right.
And you saw Colton just...
No, he didn't.
He cursed at that ice.
That was amazing. Yep. Vejmelka literally just had his hand glove, the glove here, and that's exactly where he shot it. I know. Like, you couldn't draw that up again if you tried. It was unbelievable. I saw that, and it's just another one of the. And Mosier's perfect. How he said he leads the league in what do you say, like heads snapbacks or something like that. Like that is so perfect because it's true. Because it's true. And her Battleaxe, Madam Battleaxe's song check is the song from the movie The Hangover. It says "We Are Back," but I don't know if that's what she means. If that's the song, or if she's just saying "We Are Back," being the Avalanche. I don't know what song she's talking about from The Hangover. I mean, there's multiple Hangover movies, so
I haven't seen The Hangover in a while.
It's been a while. It has been a while. And then finally, Matt says Wedgewood was outstanding. Parker Kelly pulled his best. MacKinnon, Lehkonen with some heads up defensive plays, mainly preventing that goal by sitting, allowing Wedgewood to cover. Yes.
Yeah.
There was that moment where right in front of him, and I don't think he intended to sit down, but he might have just lost his footing. And the way that he sat was, I'm just going to park myself in between the Utah player and Wedgewood, and then you have nowhere to go. So I'm just going to sit here. And
I think it was intentional. Perfect. I'm going to give that to Lecky. Lecky's a smart guy.
Could have been, yeah. And Matt Soundcheck, All My Friends, A Day to Remember. All My Friends, I think it was A Day to Remember. Isn't it A Day to Remember?
A Day to Remember is the band.
Is the band. And then All My Friends. So that's what Matt's
another
got.
Solid pick.
All right.
Totally different end of the spectrum from the country pick earlier. But
so we started at country.
Yep.
And we ended with A Day to Remember. So let's get to our sound checks.
Let's do it.
And what do you got for this one? So for anybody that's new to this, we pick one song each that summarizes the most recent game. Put these songs up on a playlist over on Spotify and on YouTube Music. And you can search for them by finding the playlist that they're on, which is LOA Soundcheck Volume number 5. So what do you got?
It's the last game of the regular season against the Utah Mammoth. So I am going with, especially now that the Avs won, I'm going with The End by Mammoth.
Did you do The End by Pearl Jam before? There was a song by Pearl Jam called The End. I don't think you did.
I don't think so.
Okay. Because if you did, that would have been great. You have 2 songs called The End by different artists, which would be, what's this one by? Who's this one by?
Mammoth.
Oh, by Mammoth.
Yep. Which is
okay.
Wolfgang Van Halen.
Oh, really?
Van Halen, yep. And the intro guitar riff on that song, know that he's Van Halen's kid. Like,
it's the sound.
You're like, oh yeah, got it. Check.
There is an Eddie Van Halen sound.
Wicked.
All right.
It is wicked.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
And actually, you know what? The intro guitar riff is wicked like Parker Kelly's goal, so it works even better.
There you go.
Just shreds
even better
right through the defense.
That's kind of where I went with mine. Was maybe you could kind of say this is on Parker Kelly, but really it's the whole team, because when Nathan MacKinnon's not when we talked about it when your superstars are not there, who steps up? And it was multiple guys. It was Scott Wedgewood again, Parker Kelly. But I don't think they look at it as that. I think they look at it as like, we just got to go out and do our job. Sure, we need to pick it up a little bit more because we're losing a lot with Nathan MacKinnon. So that's where I went with mine. I went with Ben Harper. And Ben Harper does a lot of things, but he has multiple bands. This was a band that he formed called the Relentless Seven. Came out with a couple albums, phenomenal albums. And the song is called It's Up to You Now. Okay. So it's almost like Nathan MacKinnon just like saying like, guys, I'm not here. Maybe hopefully just for one game. So it is up to you now. And they answered the call. They answered the call. But I don't want to keep doing that. I like Nathan MacKinnon. I like having Nathan MacKinnon.
I want Mac back for sure.
Absolutely.
Oh man. So. And the Connor McGahey call when MacKinnon gets another goal. Yeah. Anytime he misses, the Mac attack is back jack always is just crisp. It's good. So.
Yeah, you love it. So
nice.
All right. I wanted to end this episode. Yeah, the news came out that radio personality Jim Gordon, who goes by the nickname Boomer, in which I did not know this, and it makes complete sense. They nicknamed him that because he looks like the pitcher for the New York Yankees, David Wells, for the Yankees and the Red Sox, and David Wells' nickname was Boomer. So that's how they gave him that nickname. Did not know that. And like I said, like when I heard that, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes total sense because that's what he looks like. Anyway, he passed away. He was 55 years old, died of cancer, and was really working like pretty much up pretty close to when he passed away. Works for Sirius XM on their NHL network channel. And he genuinely was one of my favorite guys to listen to on the radio because he in this world of you have a lot of radio shows and podcasts and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people feel like in order to make it, they need to be loud and bombastic and obnoxious with how they like talk. And you see it all the time on like ESPN, like the Stephen A. Smiths of the world. Like I don't gravitate to those people. Like to me, that's just a shtick and it's just a show. What Boomer did was he was almost like this like monotone voice. He was just like this comforting voice. And he just, it was so like soothing to listen to him. So, and I loved that about him. And he had great takes too. It was more than just the voice. The voice brought you in, and just the way that he talked brought you in. But and then you listen to him and you're like, man, like I never thought about it that way. Like he said things differently. There's so many times where I'll be listening to NHL radio or watching NHL Network. I'm going to admit it. Once they start interviewing like a player, I usually tune it out. I stop paying attention. I might even change the channel altogether because I think hockey interviews with players are terrible. They never give you anything. It's the canned answers. You know what the question is. You know what the answer is going to be. I never did that with Boomer because he got good answers out of them. And coaches, like he would interview coaches a lot too, or other people in the industry, just other, radio guys. And his interviews were always interesting because he didn't ask the question everybody knew was coming. I loved that about him. So, and end of the year, everybody always does like season in reviews and stuff like that. And we do it, we do season reviews, we do moments, we do grades and stuff like that. On his radio show, him and his co-host, they would go through, they take like a week to do it, but they would go through alphabetically every single team and do a summary of every single team. They'd ask like 5 burning questions of every single team. I looked forward to his reviews more than anybody else's by far, because the content he brought, like I said, like the way that he talked about things was just a different point of view and a different perspective, and it will just throw you a couple nuggets of like, wow, like I never thought of things that way. So I loved listening to him. Everything about him was great, and he just seemed like this larger than life guy who just had this like monotone voice that knew the game. That was great. It was great. Those are the type of guys that I love listening to in the radio world. And unfortunately, 55 years and cancer creeps up again and claims a good one. So it's gonna be weird not hearing it. So they did a great job on Sirius XM, kind of like memorializing him today. So it was really good listening to people were calling in, people that work at the station, and just kind of going over stories with him. So he seemed like a awesome guy. Awesome guy.
That's really cool.
So we're gonna wrap things up there. So we'll be back tomorrow. We got another game to go through. So big one in this one with the Avs and the Wild facing up at Ball. So we'll be back tomorrow to talk about that one. So make sure you are tuned into it. But for this one, thank you for tuning in and making your first listen of the day. He is Zach Pearson. I am Chris Micieli. This is the Locked On Avalanche podcast. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And of course, you have made it through another 24 hours where Sidney Crosby is that much closer to being with the Colorado Avalanche, even if he's injured.